few weeks ago, someone I had just met over Zoom, not even 10 minutes before, never talked to her before this, gave me unasked for negative feedback on a topic completely unrelated to what we were meeting about. I was a little surprised, and that's kind of an understatement. Unasked for negative feedback or advice. At best, it crosses a boundary, and at worst, it's a critical attack. In this case, it was both. The advice she gave, which didn't even start with, "Do you mind if I make a suggestion?" was phrased in a strong, "do not do this" way. And to be clear, it wasn't about anything I'd done that crossed her boundaries. It was straight up negative feedback on a casual comment that I had made. It kind of threw me off for the rest of the call. I was waiting for her to take something else in the wrong way and analyzing how thoroughly she had jumped to an incorrect conclusion. So what's my point here? The point is, giving feedback is tricky, yet it's something that everyone has to do. Leaders, managers, and individuals, we all give feedback to each other, to our teams, to our families, to our colleagues, and our friends. So let's talk about how to do it. But first, I'm Grace Judson, leadership geek working to make work more profitable and more fun for everyone by improving the ways companies train and support their managers and leaders from the first line all the way up to the C-suite. There are links down below this video to resources and information about how I do that and how you can get the support within your company that you need. Okay, feedback. Let's start here. As a manager and leader, you'll be in many situations where you need to give feedback to a team member. Whether it's part of your regular performance process or it's about a specific situation, it's your job as a leader of people. And let's look first at feedback around something you want to change, what I call corrective feedback. This is typically the most challenging type of feedback for people to feel comfortable about giving. First rule. Do not use the dreaded feedback sandwich. It's outdated, it doesn't work, and if by chance you've never heard of it, yay, that's good news. In short, it's where you say something positive, then give the correction, then wrap up with another positive. Don't do it. It doesn't work. The recipient just hears all the good things and sort of fluffs over the things you want them to improve. Second rule. Be very clear before you start about what you want to change. Don't just say, "You need to be on time to meetings." Say, "I expect you to be logged into Zoom," or whatever platform you use, or if you're meeting in person, "I expect you to be seated in the conference room at least 3 minutes before the meeting start time." People cannot perform to your expectations unless you tell them what those expectations are. And you cannot tell them what your expectations are if you haven't gotten clear on them for yourself first. And this is a mistake that people make all the time, is, kind of thinking that other people know more than they do. Not exactly thinking that people can read your mind, thank goodness they can't, but really just underestimating the amount of information that they need to provide. Okay, third rule. Always give corrective feedback in private. Shaming someone in front of the team or in front of even any single person is not an effective management technique. In fact, it's a very bad management technique. Fourth rule, make sure you know what will happen if they don't make the change you're asking for. What are the consequences? Fifth rule, don't jump on someone out of the blue. Even something as simple as, "Hey, I need to let you know that what's happening here isn't what I expect. Let me explain." That will help prepare them that what's coming isn't necessarily going to be fun. Okay, there's a lot more, including some examples in my Performance Improvement Plan checklist, and the link to get that is down below in the video description. So, now let's take a quick look at something much more fun, giving positive feedback. First rule, as the saying goes, catch people doing something right. We so often notice what we don't like, but we can kind of blip over someone doing what we want, especially if it's something we expect them to do. So keep an eye out for the right actions. Second rule, don't just say thank you, say why you're thanking them. I have a friend who will often say, hey, thank you to me, which is great, don't get me wrong, but I always have to ask them for what? Because I want to know specifically what I did. Why do I want to know? Because if I know the details of what they appreciated, then I can be sure to do it again or something similar. Being specific about what you're thanking someone for is a great way to get more of the good stuff. Third rule, as long as you're sincere, you really can't be too appreciative. You don't want to ooze all over someone. That's kind of creepy. But you do want to give credit and appreciation where it's due. As I said, we tend to notice what we don't like and overlook the positive. Don't do that. Okay. Fourth rule, and this should be pretty clear, but kind of something we need to it's human nature, but don't play favorites. There probably are people on your team that you like more than others. Make sure you spread your appreciation across the whole team. Even the underperforming person is doing something right, and if they're not, then you really need to download that performance improvement plan checklist I mentioned. It's down there. Okay, fifth rule, as much as possible, unlike corrective feedback, as much as possible, give positive feedback in public. And the last rule for any kind of feedback, don't wait. Even if your company is on a set cycle for performance evaluation, nothing you say in the formal evaluation should be a surprise, whether positive or corrective. Okay, that's my quick take on 5 rules for corrective feedback and 5 rules for positive feedback. One last thing, reflect back on what I said at the beginning. Your team expects feedback from you as their manager and leader. They probably even want it. Your kids may not want feedback from you as their parent, but they do expect it. Positive feedback is appropriate for anyone at any time. Corrective feedback, negative feedback, if you will, is for your team, your kids, and otherwise only when specifically asked for. And yes, it's sometimes hard to bite your tongue, but do it anyway. That's it. If there was an aha moment in this for you, please leave a comment to let me know. Or if you have a question, by all means, leave that in a comment as well. I always come back to answer comments and questions. And if you're not already subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? Click subscribe and then hit the notifications bell so you'll know when I release a new video. Go forth and give good feedback. Take care.